Hi, Luminaires. Hello, everyone. My name is Jamie Butler. Welcome here to our YouTube channel where today we are going to be trance channeling. I say we because you're participating, but I'll be trance channeling my guide Maitland to give you the energy update straight from Spirit's mouth, all about July. Now, Maitland is a very colorful young spirit and likes to talk about big concepts in a very doable, everyday way, which just kind of fits the theme over here, just being an everyday medium, taking the intuitive, the psychic abilities, and using them in a very common, everyday way is what this channel is all about. So to have Maitland deliver these messages in a laughter kind of a way, fun, playful, is interesting because a lot of times I think when we sign up to get messages from the beyond, it feels more ethereal and more like ominous, direct. I don't know what it has a certain vibe to it. And this vibe that we give here with Maitland is a little opposite. So if you like that, you came to the right place. I'm just saying this because if you are new here, I'm prepping you for what is to come. And Maitland likes to share with you what chakras are going to be challenged, supported, needed, talk to you about crystals and stones that support that, how to grid your house, essential oils, all aspects of energy from sound to spirit animal of the month, and even like the best day to communicate with them. I know it's a lot of info, but it will resonate with some and resonate differently with others. So you can take and pick what you like to use in your spiritual journey. If you like what you see here, please hit the like button and subscribe. We go live once a week, most of the time, to have chats about deeper values of intuition, spirituality, integrity in those areas, and waking up to them. And if you would like to learn more about what we're up to, please head to my website at jamiebutlermedium.com. It's the place where you can find everything and check out our retreats that are coming up. We have telepathic studies, the essence or discovering the oh my gosh, now I'm starring. It is hard to do this before trance channeling.
I can be a voice.
This is
Colleen. You want to introduce me and I can talk.
Colleen Ziegler, off camera, the voice.
It's the unspoken language
of telepathy. We're going to dive into telepathy.
You're doing great, Jamie.
Thank you. And we're going to take 21 days together remotely online before we even meet in person. So our studies begin 21 days before the retreat. Then we get into Taos and we get to practice together. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to have some incredible experiences on the land. We have a few more seats. When I say a few, we only have 2 cabins open now. So let us know if you're interested in that. Reach out, jamiebutlermedium.com. And also we have Africa. Africa, the whole continent. We're going to do an African safari, going from Tanzania through the Serengeti, meditating our way through the land and meeting 2 local tribes there as well, which is a very unique and very special gift. So if that interests you, let us know. As well as we have an online angel series that is starting tomorrow if you're watching live. If you're not, that is going to be June 27th. And you can go back and watch the series. We're going to be introducing angels, letting them give a direct message to you through trance channeling and also a healing, which is really special. Beyond that, we have all kinds of stuff happening, but I think I will stop there. Yeah, that's enough to share. But I just like the little platform. Thanks for letting me speak about it. I'm getting used to advocating for our work, but my joy is actually doing it. And I thank you so much for showing up and participating. Luminaires, you're such an incredible group. You're so loving and you're so supportive. And I boast about you all the time of how you get onto these chat threads and you take care of each other. It's just incredible to see. Yeah, you are so welcome. Oh, okay, let's do this. If you are practicing your abilities to see energy or feel, just get centered in your body. I'm like adjusting the camera angle. I don't know what's going to be good enough. There we go. And if you're practicing seeing, check out the right side of my body. I tend to move in and out of the body over here. So you might see a light shift or a movement. And for those of you who are sensitive, you might feel a shift in your own body. If you like it, ride it. Like just totally take it, soak it up. If it's something that makes you a little uneasy, drink something, like if you can, drink something a little bit heavier, like coffee, or have a little bit of chocolate. There is your excuse to add chocolate to your diet today. Beyond that, if you need clarity about what Maitland is sharing about July's energy, please ask the question in the chat thread. We're not going to take personal questions today, but we will take questions about the month. If you like the idea of personal questions, you can do that on our YouTube membership, where we have exclusive time where we do Q&As. A spirit comes through in this manner, trance channeling, and answers questions to you, the members. And there's all kinds of tiers. If you enjoy that kind of close-knit ability to jump in, like, check out our YouTube membership. It's really wonderful. Yay! Oh, yeah, I see a few of you are already noting some retrogrades. Colleen was educating me about them because Maitland wasn't saying anything about it, because she's got some other things that she wants you to know, guys, which is wild. Colleen, did I cover everything?
I think you're good.
My goodness, now I get to let go. Before we started, I have such a strong energy that just moved through my body, and it's just sitting here. It's hard to catch my breath. Do you hear me wheeze?
I didn't.
Like whistled. Did you hear that? Weird. All right, check out this side. Have some fun. Enjoy. I won't see you when I get back. I love you. Have a great rest of your day. Maitland usually says, "Are you ready?" And I nod my head. And I waited for her voice, and she goes, "I'm so excited for this." Instead of saying, "Are you ready?" And that threw me off. I just wanted to share it.
Hi, Maitland.
Hi, Colleen.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Luminaires. How are you? Are you having a good time? Do you like your June? I didn't say June. I didn't say that you needed to put your seatbelt on for June. I am going to say you need to put your seatbelt on for July. July is a seatbelt month. And so if you thought June was a little weird and wild because you were skipping through time, that's one thing. Or that you felt like you had said something to someone and then you went back and they acted like you never even talked to them, like there was a glitch in communication, because that's another thing that can happen. This is for June, like you just came off this month. And so it's fun to acknowledge what's come in the past, but I super think you'll really appreciate the results of July. You might not thoroughly appreciate being in it so much. I don't mean that in a unfavorable way. I think a lot of people, a lot of humans like easy things and maybe not value the harder things. I'm talking myself in a hole, I think, because I don't want to say that July is harder, but the results of July are amazing. Okay, so let's talk about it. I like to call each month by like a nickname, and I want to call July the bridge month. Have you heard about like the bridge people? And these are the people that are called to like anchor the human energy, earthly terrain energy into higher frequencies. So when multidimensionals come in or when new frequencies come in, they're kind of like the person in the middle that's going to help balance that and kind of bring it in, help it walk across the bridge, and they walk across the bridge. So they're really going to straddle that 3D, 5D experience for a while, like to make sure that everybody can see and interact and translate and help and assist, all that kind of things. Okay, so this month is thoroughly a bridge month. Okay, I have mentioned in the past, for years, if you follow me that long, you'll hear some repetitive things. If you are new, I want you to go, interesting. But I've been mentioning about building community, how important it is to have community, online, offline, Online community is just as important as in-person community, but in-person community is really important because there'll be times in each of your lives, no matter where you're living, because you also could be on vacation or you could be like out somewhere else, and maybe something happens with the electricity or a storm happens, or there's just going to be a lot of faulty works kind of dancing around you as we go across the bridge. Some things don't translate so well, and to adjust for that, it is best to make friends with your people in your community, and even just ask like a neighbor or so, like, hey, do you have a garden? What do you like to grow? And then, do you have a garden? What do you like to grow? Like, this is what I like to grow, and seeing if you can share and collaborate in those ways. And even looking at who is the one that has like propane tanks, and I know how to repair things, and I have this. And so everybody can support each other. And just if you have elderly neighbors or elderly people in your community, just understanding what their needs are and kind of like where they are. You don't need to like have a breakdown of all their medications and everything unless you're really close to them, but maybe suggest to them, put a list of medications on your refrigerator door, so that if something goes wrong and you can't communicate to me, I can go to your refrigerator door and I could look at everything that's happening, and just be more communication. Do you know that thing? That's going to be needed for the month of July. Throat chakra is so needed. If you remove this good communication and this openness and this strength of honesty, the heart that is being supported for the entire month of July, like every day, is going to struggle. So you have to use this guy to let the emotions feel really present and good and seen and heard, and it just starts being wonderful. So July is really about being here and ending up there. It's the switch. You've been in this transition for a long time. You've been hearing about it, prepping for it. You've been in it since beginning of the year, last year. And now it's go time. Remember, this is the year of change. Now we're in the phase of, okay, the people are a part of it, and now it's go time. So it's about building new you, getting to see new you, discovering new you, and a lot of what you're done with, which you can call old habits, old patterns, indoctrinated lessons. You guys have words for it, I know. You can just let that go, and you're not even sad about it. You're like, oh, I didn't know I could live like this. And then you just do it, because that's what July is here to do. Change, as I mentioned before, in the month of July will create either two things. You'll really love it and you get excited about making the adjustments and doing the work, or you might get frustrated with it and not enjoy it. But I don't make promises often, but I do kind of want to make one now. Like at the end of July, the results, you're just going to be like, wow. Like, I'll just give one more example before I get into the days. Is that okay? Okay. Let's say that you've been working on energy healing, and you are a sensitive, and you do energy work, and you do manifestations or energy focuses, things like that. And you're like, I know it works. And from time to time, you really get the results out of it. And you're like, see, it works. But maybe it's not as constant as you would have wanted it to be. When you get through July, it's just going to be, when you go to do it, it works. When you hurt yourself and you put energy into it, it heals. When this happens to you and you're like, I want to shift the narrative, it happens. So it's like action. You go from here to there. This is the point. And the energy that's coming in July, it's going to last for like 3 months. July, August, September, really strong. So it's moving here to there. The bulk of it is in July, and the energy coming from the stars bathing the whole earth has never been documented in your written history before. So this is just like a new, we haven't had this in our, humanitarian existence, like humans haven't experienced this. So it's really going to create, should I call it a revolution?
Call it whatever you want.
I'll call it a revolution, an evolution. It's an evolutionary jump. This is a quantum jump. And you'll notice it, you'll see it. You won't have to wait until it's over to look back and go, wow, look at the amount we covered. Because that's what you've been doing in the past. You like get through something and you're like, I wasn't aware that it was really happening. If you're sensitive right now and you're already on your spiritual journey, or you just begun, beginner to advance, okay? You're going to notice you're in it. You're going to notice the work is happening and you're going to see it. Okay, so let's just get into July and kind of how it flows. I like to talk about the month in weeks. So the first week, it starts off with like this dreaming energy, this daydream energy where you can really focus on, here's how I want to see my future. And I'm contributing to the consciousness, the mass consciousness of all and how we want to build this together. And you are a part of this movement and you are powerful. So please just like make a note, if you like, in your calendar and go, great week to think about mass consciousness and how humans are moving forward in love, supporting and moving forward. A lot of the fear that's sitting underneath is going to just kind of disappear. You're going to reclaim like your strength and your power, and the fear is just going to like get further and further away because you're noticing more and more and more the results that are happening from the shift of your perspective, from the aim of your mental energy, and from the projection of love. Like that's how fun week 1 is. Like around the 3rd, it's a really great like journaling day and art day. It's very creative, which then takes us to the 4th. For Americans, it's the 4th of July and an Independence Day. But for all of us on Earth, it's kind of like a Independence and Relationship Day. It's like a Freedom and Relationships Day, and love gets to bloom. But what's funny about this day is that the love that blooms out of this day is a tiny bit sassy and a tiny bit witty and not snarky or mean or anything, but it's like, I'm so like verbal and I'm so good at this and I can be witty and a little sassy and it's cute and it creates like more connections. It doesn't deconstruct, because this month is all about, building new communities, being in communities, making transformations, not not like controlling things, but transforming them. So I like to pick a day out of the whole month that's best for spirit communication. And off the bat, I'm going to pick the 6th. So you can put that down, but if you're a part of the YouTube membership, I make a calendar for you and we share it with you. And so you can link to that. Okay, so on the 6th is like, it's so good. I don't know how to describe it. Otherworldly. It's like I'm in my human body, but I'm experiencing it in an otherworldly way. Like some of you who are really sensitive will be like, did someone slip me some drugs? Not in a bad way. I mean, in like a happy, euphoric, I have a blissful vibe to me, and I'm a lot larger than what I imagine myself to be. That's how it is. And with this otherworldly energy, you start to experience your environment around you. And this is a great place to communicate to spirit from, because you're crawling out of your limitation and you're using like this bigger version of you. And so if you've been looking for stronger results and getting responses from your loved ones, put your efforts onto that day. The day that follows this big bliss thing is a day of reconstruction. Power shifts. It's when you look at your leadership energy on Earth right now, it looks like a tower. It's vertical, it's straight up. The person on the top has the most power, the person on the bottom has the least. And this vertical power is about to go horizontal. And now everybody is on the top. And that power shift is going to be really unique. Now, of course, it's not just going to happen all on one day. Again, this energy that's coming in, 3 months of this spiritual warrior shift, change energy, community coming forward energy. So over the next 3 months, you'll start to see that horizontal energy lay out for you, which is super, super good. Then it takes us into week 2. And week 2 is about building communities. It's about being together. So start looking at where your community is, where it is online. And if you want, because you're going to have glitches with your electricity, and if you're not prepared with solar power batteries that you can hook up your computer to, things of that nature, then you might want to write a few things down. I've mentioned in the past it's really nice to have books these days. So you might want to purchase some books that have the knowledge that you like to keep around that you normally use your internet for. If you always are looking at a certain cooking something recipe or whatever, print it out and make a really nice recipe cookbook for yourself. It'll be very fun to have. Because there will be glitches in internet service and just power outages. It's hard to say. Power outages. Never mind. So you might want to get that together as you are building your communities. And then we come up on the 10th. And the 10th is the full moon. The full moon in Capricorn. And the full moon in Capricorn is like a big old bright light, and it's shining specifically on your career. Like it really brings the energy around what you choose to invest your time into as a career. And it's a great time to sit down under the moonshine and get into, what are my long-term goals? What am I really looking at? Because the more clarity you can bring to your vision, the quicker it will show up. The more muddy you are, the harder it is to obtain. The more unclear you are, the closer you get to it, it's just going to equally move away from you. But the clearer you are about it, whether you're imagining yourself completing it, finishing it, or however you're using your imagination, however you're using it, it will help you reach the goal with greater ease. So do like pen to paper, or like sit down and gather that for yourself. That would be very useful and very helpful for you. So all of the second week is kind of like this: who am I in relationship to others? How am I in community? But kind of on the 13th, it's a little bit selfish. It's a little bit of like a reprieve and like a me energy, kind of like, where do I sit? How do I play a part? So the energy will kind of do a little bit of an isolation, and I don't want you to see it as a sign to pull away from your community. I kind of want you to see it as a self-check, self-awareness. Where am I? How am I directing my talents, my energy, my thoughts, my emotions? And then put them right back into play, because this is also like the timing right after this, as somebody was mentioning, Luminaire, Andrew was mentioning that the retrogrades are happening. Saturn is going into retrograde. Mercury is going into retrograde, and those are going to be there for a little bit of time. And so that energy can make things feel like it's going backwards. But July is kind of so magnificent in its own right. It kind of offsets that retrograde energy. I mean, you could break it down and you could see the different nuances, but I think you're going to be so busy in navigating and managing just what July wants to do with you that you're not really going to be doing much of anything else, if that makes sense. Now, remember, all throughout the month, your throat chakra is needed. And so for your throat chakra, I chose blue lace agate as a frequency that you can use to help balance and like support the throat chakra, as it's going to be relied on time and time again to find your voice and come forward. Honesty, vulnerability. And I like blue lace agate because it's a little bit more gentle and it decreases your stress. And it can hold your hand and say, I know you might feel very exposed right now or vulnerable, but it is time for you to speak. And your spoken word is not going to lead to attacking, it's going to lead to a calmness and a collective community. So very nice. Thank you so much. Boosting honesty and communication is necessary because when you do that, it's going to support the heart energy, and the heart energy throughout the entire month is being supported. Now, it's not blatantly being supported, except I would probably say all of week 2, where it's like community and relationships and togetherness and, this kind of a thing. It will also, your heart energy will do this funky thing. And it's this July's energy where it's like, I want you to look behind you and I want you to slightly look in the past so that we can move forward a lot more. And it's like not a natural instinct to look back to go forward because, there's all these sayings like leave the past in the past and carry on. And, or what's the other one? You put your chin down? No.
Chin up?
Chin up, head down. That's what I get. You put your head down, you keep going, you keep your chin up and keep going, whichever direction you want to go in. It's all about leaving the past behind. But July is like, wait. Can you just take a look at that real fast so that you see it again and that it will trigger the forward motions. And it's all there to support you. It's not to make the heart break again or to feel like you failed in your forgiveness or you're letting go. That's not it, guys. So I chose pink pink quartz. I chose pink quartz for this. First of all, pink quartz is just good for everything. And if you're like Jamie, who likes to collect and get all the crystals and everything, you can do, my friend Kristen set up Maitland's Magic, and it's where she takes all the crystals that we talk about in the month and she makes necklaces. She even is making earrings for people. They're really cute. And making a prayer bead bracelets. They're really beautiful. And then you can just have those samples. Oh, she also does the gridding, and they're beads. So you don't have to take up a lot of space if you don't have a lot of space. And you can put these crystals, these energies around your bed and around your office or in your car, like wherever you're using them the most. So with the pink quartz, it is calming, it's full of compassion. It's reminding you that you are supported. It's not working against you, it's working for you, which is the same energy. July, over the next 3 months, is a transformation, not at you, not with you, but through you. That's a big difference. This is big, different energy right now. And it's very exciting. And because it's different and new, you're going to do one of two things. Remember, some of you are going to really love it and just be like, this is what I've wanted to feel. This is what I'm aiming for. I feel so complete and whole. And then some of you are just going to go, listen, I could barely get down from June. What are you doing to me? And so just be kind. Patience. Patience is so needed. Just develop patience. Another thing that is really needed is creativity, because the chakra that's going to be challenged the most throughout the month is going to be your solar plexus. The solar plexus is the me chakra that's right beneath your rib cage, and it's yellow, and it talks a lot about like, who am I? Why am I here? What is my personality? Where is my ego, my id, my this, my characteristics? And so July is like, I'm going to keep asking you questions about you because I'm going to see if you're going to respond from the 3D version of you, or if you're going to walk across the bridge that I'm building and you're going to respond from the 5D version of you. So your answers that you normally give are about Isn't that interesting? Are you excited about that? Like the ones you've been actively working on, whether it's through therapy, through meditation, through mindfulness, you're like, this is where I want to be. This is who I want to be. And then like, you are that person in July. There's no more working on it. You are that person. Do you see the flip? You go from here to there. That's how it works. Okay. Week 3, I would say, is kind of, I chose citrine for the solar plexus. This is citrine. It's a yellow frequency and it's really bright and it helps with clarity of thought, which helps with honesty of communication, which helps with the support of your emotions. Doesn't it go together so nice? Citrine also likes to boost to a sunny disposition. It also reduces stress. It gets you to focus on that which is in alignment with you and just naturally let go of the energies and thoughts that aren't working for you. So in a way, you could say it's a bit of a blocker or a filter of those frequencies that don't work for you. It does so in a very bright, cheerful way. Citrine. I should do commercial for stones. Citrine. Like make it look like a...
That's a whole new series,
right?
Maitland.
So that would be so much fun. Okay. And I could showcase them. So for the 3rd week, I would say it's the most, I guess, relaxed week, if you want to call it relaxing. It's more about finding your feet. Where are your feet? Stand in your power. This is going to be a solar plexus thing. Lead from your intuition. Lead from who you are, your authenticity. So that's the energy, like softly, of the 3rd week. And then there's a few days that I want to talk about, especially the 23rd as we get into the 4th week. The 23rd is a really interesting frequency, and I'm calling it Let Your Woo-Woo Shine. Like, isn't there there's other words for this. Crazy, freaky, weird, wild, that energy where you're just like, you're so creative and you want to be seen as that creative, but you've spent so long fitting into society that maybe you didn't show that side of yourself so much. But this day is like a really fun day. And it's like, why don't you come out and play? Why don't you show that energy? Because judgments are going to really be at bay because everybody is bathing in that energy. Everybody is feeling a little bit like revived and creative and artsy and expressive, from vocal expressions like poetry and music to emotional expressions and conversations and embraces. So I'm going to be around everybody on the 23rd. I should have just named it Maitland's Day, but that's kind of weird to name a day after yourself. But it is like a let your woo-woo shine. And that's right before the new moon. And this new moon on the 24th in Cancer it's real quiet and it's really calm. It's like a whisper, like I'm whispering to you. It's a whisper. And if you're sensitive, you might not feel it. You might just breeze right through that day and just from it, can't ignore it. Powerful. So don't be surprised, like, oh, responsively on the day, you're like, that was nothing. Like when you get, there are some chiropractors out there, they don't snap your bones, then they'll go crack, crack, crack. They just like massage and like gently manipulate, and you're like, oh, that was like nothing. They barely touched me, nothing happened. And then the next day you're like, I can move and I have no pain. What's happening? It's like your whole body unraveled. That's this new moon. So for this new moon, please, 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 I'm begging. I don't do this often, but I do. And when I do it big. Please, 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 on the new moon, get connected to your inner self. Get connected to you. Get quiet. Get quiet with her. she's going to be real quiet and calm. You take a moment and get real quiet and calm and look at the universe inside your body. You don't have to talk to it. You don't have to know what it's doing. You don't have to label it. You don't have to give it direction. Okay, don't make it any more than what it is. I'm just saying, get quiet and be with yourself. You're going to be so surprised with what these quiet, peaceful, nothing, can I say nothingless? Is that a word? Nothingless?
Sure, why not? You can use it. We all know what that means.
Okay.
Nothingless.
A nothingless energy. All right, the absence of something really big and action-wise. A nothingless energy is an action, but it's a chosen, really passive self-action. You'll be so surprised how far this kind of check-in will get you and how relieving for that overactive mind who thinks that it has to have a plan every freaking time you check into spirit, into meditation. It's got to go somewhere. It's got to do something. It's got to achieve something big. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do it anymore. No more. Quit. I give you permission to quit.
Maitland,
Yeah.
I have a question for you for clarity, because you just talked about the Cancer new moon, which was in June.
Sorry.
But are you talking about the July new moon when you're talking
Yes,
now? So that's in
I
Leo.
am.
Yes. So it's confusing because it was just yesterday.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
It was just yesterday. You get confused talking about your future time with the now time that you're in, because where I come from, all the time is happening at once. And so when I come through, I really have to practice your the linear time talk. And that linear time talk is loosening up a lot for you. So join the confusion game with me. Yeah, I'm talking about July's new moon, the soft and powerful one, where you do the nothingness. All right, but you get my point. Start adding or removing maybe deeper, more aggressive meditations that you like to do, and just sit in silence and openness. Practice the openness. I'm talking 5, well, actually, I would like 7 to 11 minutes if you needed some structure. And of course, you can always do longer. But like an everyday thing, you will be amazed at what it does. And then also that energy of that authenticity with the new moon and bringing inner self to light. This switch happens. There's a lot of switching, from here to there, from 3D to 5D, moving across a bridge, changing frequencies, like in your body and directions and all this. This other thing that happens is that, intuition, it used to be seen as something that you aim for, like it's what you do and it's light and fluid, and it's not really, intuition is not a grounding element. But right after like the new moon in July, intuition will begin to feel very grounding, very comfortable, very, I guess, in some of your words, like real and tangible and safe. Like, I'm not going to make a decision until my intuition comes forward. And intuition is going to start grounding other fluid things that happen with you, like imagination, the daydreams, the fantasies, the things of that nature. And you're going to start looking at how you're transforming your energy to grow stronger with the more fluid frequencies. So the practice is grounding through fluidity, grounding through change. So this is coming forward all of July, but mostly like the bigger end of it comes after the new moon on the 24th. And then towards the end of the month, it's more of boosting your intuitive abilities. I guess it's feeling more like you're I'm trying to put a picture to it because it's hard to explain the energy, because this energy that's coming in, it hasn't been seen before. And it's flipping the dialogue from who you were to who you are. And you are seriously getting to practice to be in the new suit of you, a new you, noticeably a new you, not a, oh, I'm still trying and I'm pushing forward to create a new change. It's like you get up and you're driven by everything inside of you to be this other way that you have been aiming for. So I need you to stay on your toes and check in with yourself, not just be like, wow, I'm amazing. God, I do like that. But to check in with yourself to say, I'm acknowledging I am moving at light speed, and I'm acknowledging I don't have to keep trying to be this way because it is part of my foundation. Like, do you know that kind of dialogue that you can do with yourself? I acknowledge that I've achieved it. Let me celebrate that. That's part of my foundation. I don't have to keep bringing it up and practicing it and practicing and practicing, because that's not going to feel good if you actively keep yourself in a vicious cycle, because July is just wanting to lift you forward, and that energy is going to take you through August all the way through September. And July is also setting off a 3-year cycle, 3-month cycle, 3 years cycle. And the 3-year cycle, this is that global new earth. Right now it's new you. Now then it's going to be new earth. And when earth starts to express and show you these changes by switching leaderships, like in the 4th week of July, a lot of the leaders that you're used to seeing, like the old men in control or the older generation in control, it's not going to look like that anymore. It's going to change a lot, and it's going to be the younger generations, and it's going to be a little awkward to go, whoa, I just went from having an older generation run everything to a much younger generation, and I wasn't prepared for a much younger generation to have that kind of strength, to have that kind of know-how, like have that kind of leadership energy. But they have it, and they're going to use it in that future thinking that began on day 1 of July. They're going to use that energy in their leadership about bringing everybody together, what's an alignment for humans, nature, animals, like a wholeness. There's also, I can talk so much more about it, but the end and the 4th week, it's a lot about boost of spiritual awareness, knowing, connection, while being deeply grounded into being authentic. And your solar plexus is really going to feel that stretch. So be kind and be patient to yourself. When it comes to the month and you want to use your crystals to grid your bed, I would use all of these. I would take a blue lace agate, I would take a citrine, and I would take a piece of rose quartz, and I would get 4 sets of them and put them one in each corner of the bed, along with either black tourmaline, which is nice and grounding and cleans the other crystals, or you can also add amethyst if you're having a hard time resting, or you can add some selenite if you really want that boost to the stars kind of an energy with your psychic abilities. Intuitive and psychic abilities, it's really helpful for that. Selenite's also helpful if you're looking to engage with the angels more, which are becoming more and more available to the conscious level on Earth right now. So definitely don't forget that you can lean into the archangels, the angels, as well as multidimensional energies. So for the grids, I would use all of the crystals we talked about today, and I would carry them with me as much as possible. So if that's like getting the necklace, getting a bracelet, getting some piece of jewelry that has all of them on there, which you can always go to Maitland's Magic, that would just be a really great, simple idea in doing that. If you like to use sound as part of your healing journey, I would choose both of these or either. I would go with 741. 741 is a detoxing, and it's like a clearing of the mental mind so that you can understand and connect to where you are. It's like a good detox the old. Like when you walk across the bridge, you're leaving the other side behind and you're coming over the bridge and you're going into the new one. 741 is that journey across the bridge. Doop. And you can find a lot of great playlists out there. I really like music by Holland. Can I say Holland Andrews? They didn't tell me to say it. I just said it all on my own. Jamie listens to it a lot, and I really like it. So there's that. And then you can also use 528. That resonates with the heart energy. It's also the sound of forest and bees when they buzz. And that energy, as the heart is being supported, the 528 supports your frequency as well. Heart-centered, calm, clean, healing, balanced. Nice. If you're someone that's visual and really likes animals and you want to see, like, connect to the animal energy of the month, I chose the mountain goat. I know a lot of you aren't going to see 5 mountain goats. Colleen made it very clear that they're only in a really small particular spot on Earth.
But here's the thing, we don't have to see them in person. This is pictures, movies, all kinds of ways that people come up with mountain goats.
You see it like in fabric or anything like that, you're like, mountain goat. Okay, I know what's happening. Mountain goat, so resilient, so strong, so creative. Have you watched a mountain goat navigate the side of a mountain? There's no path. There's
Amazing.
no path. Isn't it crazy? And you're like, they're going to fall, they're going to fall, they're going to fall. Nope. One toe, or is it a hoof? One hoof, just standing, nothing. Like, that's you for July. That's like representative of there's really no clear path, and you're going to be using a lot of creativity. And even your intuition is going to be grounding your imagination. Like, this is all innovative and just like really spectacular. And the mountain goat, I thought, really hit that one perfectly. If you're someone who likes to use your nose and you do aromatherapy, and you can do this like with I was going to say distillery, but I don't think that's the right word.
That's, I think, if you're going to make some whiskey.
You make
or some
whiskey?
Moonshine or something.
That's where I know it from, moonshine.
Your new, the liquor of the month. I'm joking. I'm kidding.
That would be really funny from me. What's it called? Distilled? No, that's water. When you put the drops in, it makes the little smoke.
Diffuser.
Yeah. I was close. I was in the DS some
Yes.
world.
Yeah.
Okay. Diffuser. You could use do you like the one I picked? 2 of clary sage. Okay. Clary sage, 2 drops. Lavender, 3 drops. Marjoram, 4 drops. What was the 5th one? The top one.
Cyprus.
I had cedar stuck in my head and I knew that wasn't right. Cedar is Jamie's favorite. Cyprus. Cyprus 5, marjoram 4, lavender 3, clary sage 2. There is a sage, but go for clary sage. This is kind of like a sweet earth note. It's very different, but I like how it grounds your energy and you stay awake as you walk across the bridge. Stay awake as you walk across the bridge. The best day, again, to communicate to spirit is on the 6th. That's that otherworldly kind of a feeling. I think it's going to be a real fantastic day. And if you want to, if you are a YouTube member, you can join me for the deep dive. And I'll talk more about like great days for healing, spiritual awakening, as well as launching ideas and putting your new ideas, whether it's business or personal, out into the world. And then I'll also get a little bit deeper about economics, finances, and I don't know, maybe politics, but I really like talking about economy. But I will just say publicly real fast, If you are looking at, if you're doing investments and you're looking at crypto, I couldn't remember the name, the digital money. July, especially kind of in the last half of July, July is still on and up. July, August, September, this energy moving across the bridge is up. And then October, November, December, right now is presenting as a rest. The energy is going to change a lot before we get there, but July is still bellowing this kind of prep and rev up. So investments are going to kind of gain values and fluff up, and then that's going to stay there for a little bit before it goes downward. Did I say everything? Are there questions?
I think you covered everything. There were some questions at the beginning too.
Okay.
Let's say, okay. So we had a question at the very beginning when you were talking about the energy of the month. Are you sort of saying that this month may kick off electrical grid going down in places?
Yeah, it easily can for the next 3 months. Because the energy it's new, people. It's new. And so the earth hasn't been through it before. And the earth responds to things, whether that's generating weather, which there's still going to be some freaky deaky weather, but it's more going to be of plates moving, but they're called tectonic plates, earthquakes moving. And then the earthquakes are going to trigger off some other things, like sometimes a volcanic episode. But mostly what you're going to see are strange, tornadoes in wrong places and hurricanes in places that haven't had a hurricane before. And so those of you who are like, this is why I moved here, so I don't have any bad weather, just keep your eye on the weather. It's being tracked so that you can be prepared for it. And if you're on an older fault line, you're going to be experiencing some activity on it. Now, the activity that I'm talking about, the plates are moving, it's a lot of small stuff. It's just a lot of small stuff. It's not like the big one coming. But I mean, that could lead to a big one. But commonly when there's a lot of small stuff, it's like the earth is letting loose some steam so she can settle in and rest a little bit more. So this energy is shifting. And as you're shifting from 3D to 5D, from carbon to crystalline, from fixed to fluidity, the earth is doing the same thing. So she's doing it. So she needs to make her adjustments. So respect for that. And I'm always a fan of having 2 weeks of food and medicine and water for every member in your family, including your animal companions as well as your plant companions, as well as children yourself. And maybe if you have a neighbor who cannot do for themselves, adding a little bit for that as well. You won't really need a full 2 weeks. I will say that. And I think I can say that with some confidence globally, because the act of speed at which people are taking care of each other is growing, because you're past the anger of watching your government and structures lie to you about who's being taken care of and who's not. And more people, the structure of what you can call goodness, the structure of what you call favorable, the structure of unity is being built. It's still under the covers, but there's a lot more of it than there ever has been. And that's got to feel good, but you don't get to see it in the news, and you don't really get to hear about it or witness it unless you're in it. And so these pockets of good are happening. So the amount of care and whether you call it rescue or security that comes to those in need is faster and faster these days. So I can pretty much say with some confidence that 2 weeks is good enough for what you're going to experience if you are in it.
Thank you. I'm going to give you one more question,
Okay.
and then we'll end the session and encourage everyone to come to the deep dive, where we'll have time to take a lot more questions.
Yeah, we take a lot more questions.
This question comes from Julia, and Julia is asking, I know we measure solar flares in Schumann's resonance, but what about galactic or universal energy? That is what you're speaking of, correct?
I know. And what's going to be neat, Julia, is that you're not only going to watch the weather patterns on Earth, because you do that because it's physically affecting you. You're also going to start to watch like spatial weather, like space weather. And this is going to be like your Schumann resonance. This is going to be your solar flares. This is going to be the currents of electrical energy that is coming through your solar system. It's tracked. NASA tracks it. You can get on their website, and when you look at what's the weather for today, 20% chance of rain. You'll also go to NASA and go, what's the space weather today? Oh, look, there's a high electrical voltage coming through, which is going to affect the electromagnetic fields and the ionic sphere of the Earth. And so that's going to change how our electrical grid is going to work. It's going to change how our satellites that orbit us are going to function. Okay, I'm prepared for that. I have my books. I have this, like, it's just going to be different, Julia. But it helps. Like, it helps for you to have the knowledge, and it helps for you to understand, because it's not great, amazing changes you have to make to adapt. It's just like, know it, and you're prepared. It's like making a little bit of sandwich because you're going to be hungry at 3:00 and you're going to be stuck in some traffic, and you have a sandwich like that. Well, that's a really cool thing to bring up. Oh, that was the only one, wasn't it?
It was. I want to give Jamie a little bit of a break before we go live again at 1:15.
This has been so fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. If you like this, share it with other people. We really like to get the message out. We're just one of I say one of a few, but we're more than a few of spirits that come down and really talk about, there's all kinds of individuals, but I wish more and more would come out on video and have more public access. If you think that's you, I'm talking to you. If you're getting messages from spirit, it's really great to share those messages with other people so that everybody can be more in the know and really take what resonates with them and set aside what doesn't. And that's the way you're going to be leading with your intuition self instead of your logic self in the near future. So if you do like this, thumbs up and share it. And I will see the Lumi members for the deep dive. I'll see you later, alligators.
After a while, crocodile.
I'll see you soon, baboon.
Why are we whispering?
Because
bye, butterfly.
I'll blow you a kiss, jellyfish.
It's like some secret club.
Secret society of goodbyes.
Hasta mañana, iguana.
If you're new, this is what we do every single time. So you have to bring your A game. And that is my favorite one to say, the hasta mañana, iguana.
There you go. Jump on a boat, mountain goat.
Shot. I didn't hear that one before. I'm going to
Well, we always have people come up with a new one. Gotta float, mountain goat. See, there's some mountain goats.
That's good. I gotta float, mountain goat.
I saw another one. I can't see it. My chat thread gets all wild.
Oh, we have to say goodbye to the turtles of June. I had so much fun with the turtles.
They definitely represented.
They did. They helped
Big
ground you into that month because you needed it. But it's your job to do it this time.
Thank you so much, Maitland.
You're welcome.
You have so many thank yous, so many hugs. Love you.
I love you.
And we'll see you at 1:15.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.